There are two under the radar stocks that I'm more bullish on than any others when it comes to the spring of 2024. In this video, I'm going to tell you what they are. I'm going to tell you why I'm bullish on them from a fundamental perspective. And of course, as we dive into the charts, I'm going to tell you why I'm bullish on them from a technical perspective and let you know how high I think these two can climb by the summer. So like 2 to 3 months from now. My name is Royce Jacob, and welcome back to Waves Capital. The first stock that we're going to be discussing is Veritone. Veritone is a small cap AI stock that recently crushed earnings, and over Waves Capital in the options portfolio has made us a crazy amount of money, like over 10x in the month of March. Veritone in the past month has already climbed, let's take a look here, 133%. And again, this was after their super impressive earnings report in early March. So less than a month, we've over doubled, but I still think that there's a whole lot of room for growth. As I just implied, Veritone is only at a market cap of $199 million. Very small cap stock, very little play on the ticker symbol, very impressive earnings, very impressive revenue numbers, and en route to profitability. And I think that this thing can climb significantly higher in the months ahead. Once again, as we dive into the charts, I'll talk about why that is. And you know what? At the end of the video, I'll also share my personal call options positions on these two stocks in the case that you trade options, in the case that you're interested at all. Okay? So that's our first under the radar stock. This second stock that I'm going to discuss is a definite curveball for those of you, or may come off as a curveball to those of you who have been watching for a while and tuned into the videos for the past couple of years, because this is definitely a little out of pocket for the Waves portfolio and just our interest over Waves Capital, but it is due to this thing, to these little puppies right here. These are Zins, and I want to make it clear right off the bat that I don't personally use Zins. I tried them a few years back, wasn't a fan. It's just not really my thing. You know, maybe I'll give them a shot as we approach earnings because I'm so heavily invested in Philip Morris International right now, which is our second stock that we're going to be covering. Because I think that with the amount of Zin that I'm seeing around, not only when I go to grocery stores and just see pretty much every other person buying a can of Zin, or not grocery stores, sorry, gas stations or convenience stores, I see at least one person buying a pack of Zins every single time I'm in line or at a gas station or convenience store. Once again, boots on the ground, right there, anecdotal evidence. But the amount I'm seeing Zin in the cultural zeitgeist, just looking around you, the amount of people who are talking about Zin, the amount of influencers and just, you know, people that people look up to or people look to for advice talking about Zin makes me think that this stock is incredibly undervalued right now. And that'll make sense as we also look at the stock on TradingView, look at the analyst targets. And, you know, even as we go right here, this like most recent article on Philip Morris, oh my, this 5.7% yield dividend stock is a magnificent buy. Analysts love it. It has an amazing dividend, which we're not going to be discussing in this video, but I know that's very, very appealing to most investors, even long-term, like definitely long-term investors. A good dividend stock is a very good thing for, I mean, just the overall volume and attraction towards the stock. So good news there. I needed to get to the fact that I said under the radar, Philip Morris is a company with a market cap of $142 billion. This is by no means a small company. This is no Veritone. This is no $200 million Veritone. Okay, but once again, I do think that the earnings report that Philip Morris is scheduled to announce on April 23rd will shed light on how undervalued and how underappreciated this stock really is. Because I think, once again, with these guys right here, with the amount of these things that are flying off the shelves, I think that Philip Morris is going to crush earnings. And I think that this stock, as we look at the technicals, will definitely see a massive, massive breakout to the upside. And the technicals do reinforce that. Okay, so 1, Veritone. 2, Philip Morris. Very and PM. Write them down. Again, none of this financial advice. These are just my opinions. Always know I'm acting on my words. My money is where my mouth is. And on that note, if you guys do want to know exactly how I'm trading these, I'll give you the call options as I just implied at the end of the video after this. But if you guys want to know exactly how I'm trading these and every position in my portfolio, because these are only two of many, how I'm trading my options portfolio on a daily basis, when I'm taking profits, when I'm buying the dips, then that is the first link in the description of this video. You'll also receive my daily trade alert newsletters. Here's a little example of the one I just wrote this morning before sitting down to record this, okay? If you guys want what I believe will be a big April. March was one for the Waves Capital history books. I think April will be one as well. Then click the link in the description. If you're not a member, if you are a member, I'm sorry, please leave a comment down below. Share your experience at Waves Cap. Again, it's been an amazing month. So some testimonials would be amazing. Appreciate that as always. But if you're not a member and if you do want to sign up, once again, first link in the description, complete portfolio, daily trade alerts, email newsletter. You get everything that this box here entails. $15 a month, $40 for every 3 months. Doesn't matter to me. You choose whichever pricing plan makes sense for you, or try it free. The reason I have a free trial is because I'm so confident in the product I provide, and I trust you'll be sticking around. So I look forward to having you over at Waves Capital. If you do, welcome to the winning team. If not, no worries. As always, I do appreciate you watching this video regardless. Okay, fun stuff. Let's talk technicals. Veritone. Since their earnings report, once again, back here in early March 12th was their earnings report. On that day, Veritone popped from $1.66 to a high of $3.10. I think it was as much as 80% in that single day following their earnings report. Since then, Veritone has been on a tear. It has held a very, very strong and pretty organic, to be honest, for how parabolic this looks as we zoom out, which we will. Pretty organic when you really zoom in using hourly candles here, fairly short-term time frames, a very organic ascending channel. And as long as we are within the boundaries of this ascending channel, which means the line of support and the line of resistance, I have no reason to believe that we don't continue to bounce within this channel up to my overall target of $12.50 to $13. I shouldn't say it's my target, but it is my target range. And if we do bounce, I'll zoom out after this. It's just going to get really congested looking as I zoom out. But if we do manage to follow this channel over the next few weeks, and again, remember you guys, this is how two waves happen. When things start happening, when the momentum is there, when the hype comes, when the volume comes, which we are seeing in Veritone, things happen very fast. So is it optimistic to believe that we can see this target within the range of April 17th to, May 7th, I think. From April 17th to May 7th, yes, it is optimistic. But have we seen things like this happen before? Absolutely. Have we seen much crazier things than this happen before? Absolutely. Veritone has the fundamental momentum. They can justify, even if we do, over 2x in valuation, that would, up here, we'd only be at a $500 million valuation. And given the growth rate and just revenue, Veritone did, Veritone did $120 million in revenue last year. This company is worth just over what it did in revenue, and it's en route to profitability. And it's in AI. This stock has all the makings for a hype stock. I don't want to say that we won't likely see a significant pullback after we rally up to $13, because that would be a classic two-wave pattern. But if you are in now, just be aware of this. Remember, once again, not to get greedy, as I've been saying in my last Veritone videos. And I just want to make clear the reason I'm featuring it in this video is because I still think there's a whole lot of upside. So let's quickly zoom out here and then we'll dive in to Philip Morris. The reason that I do think that my wave 2 target is about $13, $12.50 to $13. One, the line of resistance on this megaphone channel does come into play. And this is a very conservative line of resistance. I'm trying to use multiple touch points. I'm not using that singular candle wick, but megaphone channel sprawls out, looks like a megaphone. That is why it's called that. This red line is the line of support on this megaphone channel. And I do think that it's likely that this comes into play. If it takes a while, which is okay with me as well, because I do have, I'll just say it now, some $5 August 16th call options on Veritone. I will likely pick up some $7.5 August 16th call options on Veri as well. I do think that by August, okay, where's this cursor falling? August 28th is when these two intersect, at least my line. You can always, this line's pretty vague, so who knows? But ultimately, I think Veritone will retest the prior low that it set in January of 2022. That is at $13, and I do ultimately think that this second wave following a very strong earnings report will take us up to about $13. But personally, I plan to take profits once we approach or test this line of resistance that I've drawn here on the megaphone channel. That's Veritone. Let's move on to Philip Morris, which has a very I mean, this chart really excites me, especially considering I'm so bullish on this earnings report. Philip Morris is printing a massive long-term, like this thing's been in place since February of 2022. So over 2 years now, this massive symmetrical triangle pattern has been in play, and symmetrical triangles tend to resolve themselves in the direction of the overall trend. In this case, it's kind of tough to tell because it's been so long, but this is clearly an uptrend. The markets as a whole are in an uptrend, and I have reason to believe that even if Philip Morris doesn't blow earnings out of the water, which I want to make clear, I do think they'll crush earnings. Even if it's a decent earnings report, as long as it's not a bad earnings report, I still think that the technicals lean towards a breakout to the upside due to this long-term symmetrical triangle pattern. Okay. That said, once again, earnings are on April 24th, 423. I think they crush earnings. I think that they break the line of resistance, this yellow line right here on this symmetrical triangle pattern. And from there, my first target, which, you can see here, you can pull it up and down a little bit, whatever you'd like. This is where I drew it. It's at about 104.50, which is just a historical ceiling for PM. Okay. If we can break above that level, and if earnings really are extremely promising, I see no reason why we wouldn't be able to climb up to PM's previous high that it saw in May or June of 2017, which is way up at $124. And again, if you guys don't think that it's possible, just look back here. Look what happened over back in January of 2017. Philip Morris went from a price of what, $90, like just below where we're at now, to 114 in the span of March. When was this from? January 17th to March 17th. In the span of 2 months, Philip Morris appreciated by 27%, climbed all the way up to $115. So is this optimistic? Once again, yes, I am operating under the assumption that Philip Morris crushes earnings thanks to these little puppies right here. But I mean, again, money where my mouth is. I have a pretty significant position on this. My position on Philip Morris is 517 $100 calls. And again, I wouldn't be entirely surprised if by May, June, we did see $110, $115 in Philip Morris. Okay. That's the video, you guys. Please, in the comments down below, let me know what your favorite stocks are for the month of April, May, into the spring, into the summer months. What are your favorite stocks this spring? What do you think will bloom this spring season? And of course, let me know why. I'll see you in the comments down below. Once again, if you want to join Waves Capital, if you want to join the winning team, if you want to trade with us, then that's the first link in the description of this video. I appreciate you watching. I'll catch you in the comments. Until next time, guys, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.